Hi guys, my name is Nessie Blaze from Black Ink Los Angeles, and I'm right here on Buzz TV. So I've always been passionate about art. I mean, even when I was younger, like I used to draw little name tags on people. Like I've always been a hustler. Like, give me $1, I'll draw your name in bubble letters, you know, like all that. Paint program on the computers. Kids these days don't know about that, you know, that's a back in my day type shit. But I was always drawing. It's just like when I got to high school and I had to pick, you know, what college I wanted to go to and my major, like at the time, our parents didn't see art as a successful business. So, you know, my mom was like any other parent, like, look, you're not gonna be Picasso, so pick a major, go to school, you know, get a good job. And so that's what I did. I got a full scholarship and I kind of went away from it, but it always finds its way back to you. I feel like as true artists, you can't go too far. So my uncle actually introduced me to it. I want to say I was like 20 years old, and this is right after I dropped out. Me and my boyfriend had got evicted from our apartment, like, because we didn't have on-campus living at the campus that I went to. And so it was just, we were down bad. We were living with my mom, and I was waitressing, and my uncle's just like, yo, I bought this tattoo kit. You know, I can't figure out how to get the ink to stay. Like, it looks good when I first do it. The next couple of days, it's gone. Like, why don't you come over and try it? And I went over there the first day. I did a tattoo on my aunt, on him, one of his friends, and I just went on YouTube, took it and ran with it. And I was doing tattoos for free. Like, I would post stuff up, just simple stuff. I would just be like, yo, if you let me do this, you know, if I fuck you up, I'll fix it later when I get better, you know. But I was committed. Like, I was really committed. And because I was already drawing and people knew I could paint, they had faith in it. You know, it wasn't like I was just pulling it out the blue, like, hey, let me do permanent art on you. Like, people had seen my drawings, and like, of course, they were nothing like tattoo level, but people trusted me enough to do the simple things. And like, slowly but surely, it was like $25 for a tattoo, $50 for a tattoo. I was working on my mom's kitchen. She was coming home from work pissed. She's like, why are these people at my house? You know, but like, just have people lined up, man. I would just have people, because the $25 tattoos, it's like, people don't even care what they look like, you know, especially if it's free. It's like, people, like, sadly, they just really didn't care. And lucky for me, it gave me a lot of experience and practice, and I just kept the ball rolling with that even when I came out here. Moved out here at 21, and I refused to work a job. I used to walk up Hollywood Boulevard like one of these solicitors, like, yo, you want a tattoo for $25? You want this? All I had was black ink, coincidentally, and 2 kinds of needles. That's it, and a shitty tattoo machine. But like, I was really determined to like make it work. I saw people getting it. I wanted it.
I was stress eating in the back, but nobody noticed.
So your plan went well. You hit it.
Yeah. You know, I'm crying inside.
I never watched black ink. I wasn't a reality TV person. I wasn't a TV person at all. Like, I was constantly drawing or outside. I was always outside with my friends. But I got an email from a casting director saying that, you know, they were interested in having me for black ink. And at the time, this is way back, and they wanted me to come on Black Ink Chicago. And I watched a couple clips. I said, nope, because I know what y'all want to do. Because I felt like they wanted me to come in as a new girl and get my ass beat. Like, and I was like, look, I'm 100 pounds, baby, okay? If we gonna fight, I'm gonna fight. I'm not gonna get my ass beat. However, I'm not gonna sign up to get my ass beat. You know what I mean? Like, so I was just looking at like the chances, the possibilities. Like, I don't know nobody in Chicago, you know what I'm saying? I'm hearing the worst things, like Chicago is rough, it's this, that, and the other. So I'm like, nah, I'm okay, you know what I'm saying? I'm good on that. I did a couple interviews over the next couple of years after that, because the same casting directors, they'll keep reaching out. And so I finally chose to do the interview. And I didn't get a call back for the second time they hit me up. And then the third time or fourth time, somebody I really looked up to in Philly, Lemire, he was a dope artist back home, and I always looked up to him. I never met him before, but I really looked up to him. And so one day I just get a message on Instagram, and he's like, yo, I got this opportunity for a show. You know, I would, you know, love if you could come check it out, whatever the case is. And I turned it down. I remember being more happy that he knew who I was than the actual show itself. I was just like, no, I was with somebody at the time who didn't want me to be on TV. Just stupid, I was in love and blah, blah, whatever. But I was like, no, I don't want this opportunity, but I appreciate you reaching out. You know, it feels good to be seen, whatever. And he's like, I respect your choice, whatever. And then later down the line, it was maybe like 3 or 4 months later, and I happened to be live painting at this event at the Parlor in Hollywood, and he was there with his Happy Ice cart. And I was like, bro, we just broke up today. Like, honestly, like, if that opportunity's still on the table, I know I'm late, but like, let me know. And I literally got a call that week. I think we did some type of pre-filming episode, you know, where it was like a test run to see like potential cast members, how they work with cast members that they wanted and whatever, and how we like talk together. And I was really comfortable. Like I was actually, they sold it as like a real episode. So like we all think this is about to come out on TV, you know, and I was super comfortable. It was funny. The people at the table, everybody from season 1 was cool as shit. I had a good time. And then my first day actually on set, like my whole angle was being the new girl being brought in. The whole thing I tried to avoid, but I actually knew of Compton beforehand. So I didn't think it was gonna be like a real issue. It's more so like playing into it, you know, which quickly turned real. but yeah, that's pretty much how it started. Lemire and Danny really became like my family on the West Coast. Because this play too much.
You gonna up? It's lit. You in here, self-care 2020.
So yeah, I was definitely hurt when he just iced me out and kind of left me out to dry. But this says a lot. I love that he's stepping up and making things right because truthfully, our friendship is way too deep for us to be forever. The difference between our franchise of Black Ink and the rest of the Black Ink franchises because their shops already existed prior to cameras coming up. So they already had chemistry, they already had relationships, they already had working tattoo shops. The I Am Compton shop was built strictly for the show. So when they sold us as a team, we all really just met. There was no prior history, there was no previous chemistry, there was nothing really there besides like 1 or 2 people, you know what I mean, like on the set. So I feel like that was really hard for us to all get used to only because a lot of us just didn't naturally vibe. Like there wasn't a connect there wasn't chemistry there, and that's why I feel like things kind of crumbled the way they did. And I'm grateful for it because I ended up at Enigma, and if none of this bad shit ever happened, I wouldn't be there. So I'm grateful that it happened that way. It's just, it was not a good situation, you know, just putting a bunch of people like that together. I would have never been there because we weren't making money there. Like I was getting my checks from, like at this point in my career, I feel like I can just be real because that's just really how it happened. Like we broke the fourth wall so many times to try to like get people to understand why there has to be 2 shops now, you know. It wasn't being set up to be run like a real tattoo shop in my head. And I'm not trying to discredit anybody over there that's trying to do what they're trying to do. I just feel like when we were all trying to come together and be a team and make things work, it was just getting shut down left and right. But it was like, bro, we're not making no money, you know, and I have to drive. I live in Sherman Oaks. Most of us live out this way. So driving all the way to Compton, y'all know LA traffic, like ain't nobody trying to sit in that traffic to go and make no money, you know? And then it got to the point where certain artists were going up there and none of us had keys and people weren't opening the doors and just like, it was a lot of just unprofessional things going on. But when it came down to like cameras being up, even then it wasn't really being taken seriously. People were showing up 2 and 3 hours late to set. Like, come on, bro, we're all on the same type time, you know? And it just felt like my time was being wasted. And so episode 6, I think it was, the season before last season, we just filmed. I just got up and I was like, look, respectfully, I don't know what y'all trying to do here, but I can't do this anymore. Like, honestly, I just walked out. Like, I don't know what to do about my contract with the show or what happens next, but I just can't do this anymore. I'd rather go back to my apartment and make the money I was making than, like, taking up all my time here and making less money. Like, it didn't make sense to me.
Who the do it look like I'm talking to, bitch? I'm talking to you.
You better get my
I don't
face.
give a you Kyla Pratt's boyfriend. That's all you are. That's your title.
Whew.
Maybe I did go a little too hard on KP. So this might be a little hard to come back from.
Initially, they did say that they were gonna, I was like, what happens with my contract? You know, like right afterwards. And they made me do this kind of like outro where it was like, it was almost like after the episode of like a show or something where like, they're just like, oh, well, what's next? Well, where are you gonna go? And I said, yo, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Probably just back home. You know what I mean? It might just be back to ground zero. I just can't do this anymore. Like I'm becoming not myself, you know? And it's like, I'm not gonna show up to set every day and be bullied or just talked down to, you know what I'm saying? Like I really built myself up and I already went through all the struggles for 5 years being broke and trying to build myself up. So I'm not gonna get to a place where I feel like I should be respected and tolerate disrespect, you know? Like it's just not gonna happen that way. So I got a call from our executive producer, Madi, maybe a week and a half later, and she's like, Ness, do one more scene, you know, just please do one more scene. And I'm like, Madi, what? You know what I'm saying? I love her because I really feel like she saw us for individuals, not numbers or like cast members. It was like as people. But she's like, just do one more thing, just look cute, you know, I'm gonna set you up, I can't tell you. So I'm like, what the hell, you know, look cute. I'm like, am I about to tattoo Jay-Z or Beyonce? Like, I don't know what's going on, you know what I'm saying? I'm always thinking the furthest I can go. But the day of, she sends me the address to Enigma Tattoo. And I had already known Kat from over the past few years, you know, watching her do everything she's done. And a friend actually introduced us at a party, like maybe, I want to say at least 5 years prior to that day. And I just always watched her, you know. She's always like supported via Instagram when she could or whatever, if she saw something, or told me like, oh, if you ever need help. Because I remember reaching out to her when I was going through all the bullshit season 1. I was like, girl, I don't know what to do, you know, and just reaching out and being like, I know you went through some things. And like, if you give me any advice, you know, and I could tell she was kind of reluctant to, you just never know people's angle in this industry. So I could tell she kind of wanted to help me, but she was like, I don't really know what you're going to do with any information I tell you. So she was kind of quiet, but that day I got to tell her just everything, like straight up, cameras up. You know, we got to break the fourth wall, which means that we get to talk about things that actually happen behind the scenes that go against storylines, just to like explain what's actually happening. And that's when she was like, look, like we don't move like that over here. If you ever want to come here and guest spot, you know, see how you like it. And I've been there for like 1.5 years now. I mean, I feel like you got to take the good with the bad. It just comes with the territory. Like, it's not always going to be good things happening. You know, it's just natural life. It's about balance. You know, I think it's about how well you carry the bad times, you know, what you do with the decisions you make in those moments where it's like, am I going to accommodate what other people want me to be or fall into this like line, or am I going to stay true to myself, you know? And I feel like this is one of them times where staying true to myself and just getting up, because I really thought it was over. Like, you would think, you know, I just spent the past 5-6 years being broke and hustling and making everything for myself via Instagram, to being on TV and then just literally getting up and being like, never mind, you know? But it really wasn't me, and I couldn't sit up and do that every day. So when it worked, I was like, oh, okay, this is what staying true means, you know? This is what it pays off for. Like, and then I got at a shop with real artists and people who were just like me. But if I didn't fight to stay myself, I wanted to fit in with them. You know what I mean? I would have been back at the other shop still trying to figure shit out. So no regrets whatsoever.
I'm happy you over there, bro. I feel like that's definitely a good fit for you. Not only are you around people that's creative, they get lit like you too.
I'm done.
So being on the show has definitely given me perspective, and change my direction kind of what I wanted to do. I still want to open my own tattoo shop eventually back in Philly, just for artists like myself that didn't really have like a place to go, or like artists that really want to see you in, because tattoos, like when you teach people things, it's a very, you can't take anything from me by me teaching you, you know? And that's like one thing I'm learning at Enigma. Like, nobody's selfish with their knowledge because they know it's not taking from them. They're still great artists, you know, they still have their own clientele, and I feel like if anything, you just gained a new friend or a new person to network with, or that person can speak to you highly and get you more people. So I kind of want to be that. But I also I realize that's not the cap for me. Like, it's just almost like I don't want to call it the bottom because I feel like that sounds negative, but it's just the foundation of what I actually want to build. I actually want to go in a completely different direction. I'm not going to talk too much about it just because you don't want anybody getting in your head, you know what I'm saying? But I'm on a totally different wave now. That's why it's like, it's very odd to see like people thinking that you want their spot. I don't want nobody's spot, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to take anybody's place in this world. Like, I have my own visions, my own goals, and they have nothing to do with shitting on anybody or taking anything from anybody else. So that's kind of what I'm on. And then I have some really big news about to come out very soon that is dramatically going to change my life. But I'm pretty excited. I'm very excited, actually. Scary, but I'm excited. So, guys, Monday, May 15th, Black Ink Los Angeles. This is a whole new take on just black tattoo shops, period. I feel like we are some of the most talented artists. I work next to some of the dopest artists I've ever met in my life. And it's real. It's all real. It's all real. That's important in reality TV. Keeping shit real on this side. You guys can find me at Nessie_Blaze on Instagram and Twitter. I don't really use Facebook like that, so don't go looking there. But yeah, Instagram, Twitter. You guys can book appointments. I have my tattoo number up there. You can text me, set up your appointment, come through to the shop. You know, we got a storefront. I'm in a storefront now, so like we can you guys can just pull up, come through. But yeah. Hi, my name is Nessie Blaze from Black Ink Los Angeles, and you've just been buzzed.